Back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it a second down. These two teams met in Week 1 a year ago, and that went to the Packers in a slugfest 17-9. Now, remember, they also met in the NFC title game of the 2014 season. It was the Seahawks who prevailed there 28-22 on a Jermaine Kearse touchdown catch in overtime. Now it's Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are
Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. They were looking for Marshall that time. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Hey, check 26.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 5 catches, 96 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number one in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
Rodgers to throw once more. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The best name in the NFL, Barkevious Mingo. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football. They're going to have a better chance to win again this week.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Theo Riddick, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take it.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The former first-rounder Barkevious Mingo. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this one is incomplete. Charles, that's an important 3rd down stop. You don't want to spot him 2 touchdowns here early.
You're trying to slow momentum down. You've already given up the score. They're coming right back at you. You're exactly right. Being able to hold them there and force a decision on 4th down, that's big for the defense.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Zone.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Rodgers going to throw. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 2nd down, Montgomery, and he'll take this one down to the 36. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side, able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Now this time, Rodgers will throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
all these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
They begin with a run by Penny. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll run with McKissick, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
He has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end Graham. Packer first down. Rodgers now on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Caught left side by Cobb. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Rodgers again now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Now Wilson on first down. Baldwin with it over the middle. Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Let's go.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. To throw on second down. Rodgers. He sets to fire. And this will be caught at the 30. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Plenty of good matchups in that 1 o'clock Eastern window. It'll be noon at Soldier Field in Chicago. And a big test for the Bears as they'll get set to tangle with the Minnesota Vikings. More good stuff later in the afternoon. One being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the Oakland Raiders. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, one of the more anticipated games of the entire season, the Jags heading back to Pittsburgh, a place where they won twice last year, including 45-42 in the playoffs. And our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys are out in front as we send you back up to the Pacific Northwest, where we rejoin Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set To continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And I guess right now... Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Seahawks on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll go again with McKissick. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Throwing is Wilson. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On second down, here's Wilson. He lets it fly. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, That ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. And Dixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Packers get set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Packers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Rodgers now on 1st down. This is Reddick on the screen. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing is Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's brought down. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a 1st down. you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Hey, check 26.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. Field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
Rodgers going to throw. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
think. What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then it curls back inside for the completion.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now it's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett intercepted. His second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are within the extra point of taking the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Let's go, come on.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Rodgers. Pass incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Rodgers from the gun, he'll throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They go back to Red. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
That's fine. Yeah. Maximum. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Crosby puts it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. So as you see the numbers, a very uncharacteristic start, but he's been more characteristic as of late.
And usually we're seeing a very good start out of him because, let's face it, he's one of the best out there. But when he does have a start, as we just saw, would you call it uncharacteristic? You know mentally he's not that worried about it. He knows how good he is and figures he's going to get back on the beat real fast.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it second down. And the spike will come with 34 seconds to go. The Seahawks on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. Completes it to Dixon. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And now he clocks it with 19 seconds remaining. And that one incomplete as it stops the clock, reading 18 seconds to go. He's back to throw. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One last shot for Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And this isn't going to get there. It's no good. Didn't get enough leg on it. Not what you'd expect from an NFL kicker. And it's going to be the final act of this ball game. So a field goal that could have won it went awry. Pretty good distance field goal. It wasn't a chip shot, but still, that one's going to stick with him for a little while, you'd have to think.
It is, and I know that he missed that one, and they walk off the field, and obviously they don't feel great about themselves. They just lost a game. But this is where the proficiency of kickers actually comes back and hurts them, because they've gotten so good that we expect them to make just about everything, and we forget that's still a long field goal attempt.
And so much pressure there at the end of the game. It's one of those situations, unfortunately, where you're either the hero or you're the GOAT.
And what you also hope is that you've built up equity with your team by making